How's it going, everybody? So yeah, another video about delayed feints. Might not be the most interesting topic for a lot of people, and if you don't know what it is, feel free to watch my first video regarding the topic. I'm going more in depth in this one here, and I'm going to clarify a few of the scenarios previously shown. A lot of you might be thinking, ugh, do I really need to learn this? Is it actually worth it? Do I spend all these hours practicing it? Will my opponent even notice that I'm doing it? Fuck off, Freeze, with all that nonsense you find. Well, against a lot of people it probably will make no difference whatsoever. They just decided they're going to parry. Doesn't matter whether you buffered the feint or attempted a delay. The main reason for this update is a different thing though. How much does lag affect this specific move? I tested with multiple people, both good and bad connections. So you've been looking at quite a few by now. The first feint we're going to look at, Circus Top Unblockable. With a buffered feint on a good connection, it will happen at 500 milliseconds. This is intended and how it should work. The second feint is a perfectly delayed one at 600 milliseconds. Notice one specific thing that I mentioned in my old video? There is no parry indicator. Despite delaying it till the very last frame, and the game does not show a false indicator. It is purely an animation thing and exactly how it should be. To even attempt and try to differentiate between a feint or a follow-through attack, you need to look at the animation. Being able to lengthen that very animation is what it should be all about. Before looking at bad connections, here's the same thing with soft feints. Shaman's heavy into bleed stab. The buffered version is 333 milliseconds of heavy and a 400 millisecond stab. The heavy is thrown out of neutral and thus falls under lag compensation, while the stab is buffered. The perfectly delayed one is the other way around. We have a 400 millisecond heavy and then the delayed stab at 333. Once again, we have no false parry indicator, we just have the intended speed of the actual attack with a slightly lengthened heavy animation, just like it's supposed to be. Both for normal feints as well as soft feints, depending on the input, these numbers can obviously vary and shift more towards the buffered speed. There aren't just these two versions, all frames in between can happen too. I'm just showing you the two ends of the spectrum. Now, what would testing in Fauna be without some spaghetti? For my bad connection I asked DrFrankendoodle. I'm from Central Europe, he's from the west coast of the US. That means we have a connection of somewhere between 150 to 200 ping to each other. I'm not saying he has a bad connection, it's just that how the internet works right now. Distance matters. First up, the normal buffered feints. Everything's normal. 500 milliseconds and no parry indicator. Just like it's supposed to be. And here are delayed inputs. I really don't know what to say. Not only do some of the feints occur sooner than buffered, you get parry indicators as early as the 500 millisecond mark. Sometimes even for multiple frames. I can't quite explain it, it's probably a mix of lag, delaying the input for the top unblockable, and delaying the feint that cause these weird interactions. Now saying straight up that a bad connection makes delaying feints better is a little ambiguous. You want your feint to be late as to trick your opponent into parrying. But can you be sure that the game not just randomly decides to cut your feint even shorter? Do we know if it's even random, or did the previous input's timing just carry over into the attack we're trying to feint? Now for soft feints. The buffered ones are as expected. The feint timing of the heavy is all over the place obviously, but the speed of the stab is always 400 because it is a buffered input. But now, if stuff is delayed, the timings are, I don't even know if there's a word for it. They are completely random. Anything's possible now. We're flickering parry indicators on the heavy, the stab is sometimes even faster than it should be when delayed. What we can say is that for delayed soft feints, a bad connection is 100% beneficial. People will argue that a bad connection is an advantage in general when it comes to For Honor, but that is a whole nother can of worms. Yubi needs to take a look at their lag compensation and decide whether feints need to maybe be included. I'm not saying it absolutely should be the case, but I'm saying it might be worth a look. Feel free to share your opinion in the comments. Until then, I hope the video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Laters everybody.